Ukraine continues to defend its independence, and there is some news for today. Before we begin, please don't forget to like this video, write some comments and subscribe our channel to show your support for the Ukrainian people. Let's start with the destruction of the Russian armored vehicles. While the Russian soldiers stopped their vehicles and took a smoke break, the Ukrainian drone did its job, and this is what happened. Russians imitate construction of defense structures in Kursk region. Most of the strongholds built by the Russians are completely empty and overgrown with weeds. It is no soldiers and no equipment there. Also the effects of embezzlement at the defense facilities of the Kursk region, which suits both the corrupt local governor and the Ukrainian Armed Forces. The Ukrainian Armed Forces cutting the logistics routes of the Russians on the Bakhmut direction. One of the routes the Ukrainian army are already able to reach is the Bakhmut-Horlivka highway, which is 3 kilometers from the contact line. This is a walking distance for the Ukrainian mortars and UAVs. The Russian enemy now still has several logistics routes to supply the Bakhmut group. This includes routes leading from the occupied territory. However, the Ukrainian Armed Forces continue to cut these routes to inflict maximum losses on the Russian troops. The Ukrainian Armed Forces broke through the so-called Surovikin line. The Ukrainian armored vehicles have already been spotted there, and Russian artillery has been completely suppressed. However, experts note that it is too early to rejoice. There are several more defense lines behind these, but they are not fortified like first line yet. Currently, the Russian occupiers are focusing on the defense of Tokmak. At the same time, the Russian army has its own problems. A large number of mobilized soldiers are fleeing the battlefield and hiding in the landings, so the Russian command has stepped up recruitment of prisoners in the Krasnodar region. The Ukrainian army are moving deeper on the Zaporizhzhia direction and storming Novoprokopivka, a frontline village 1.5 kilometers south of Robotyne. At the same time, Russian troops are likely to still control segments of a long trench of Russian combat positions between Robotyne and Verbove. It is about 10 kilometers south of Orekhiv. The Russian occupiers have set up prepared fighting positions in almost every forest plantation, through which Ukrainian infantry is slowly and systematically breaking through. It is also reported that Russians are dressing up in Ukrainian Armed Forces uniforms and trying to fight in this way. In addition to the constant terror of the civilian population, both in temporarily occupied territories and on the Ukrainian-controlled side, cases of the enemy dressing in the Ukrainian military uniforms are recorded. And this is how the Russians return to their native land, in closed coffins. This is all interesting news for today for you. Please do not stand aside, support Ukraine. Like this video, subscribe this channel and write some comments. Glory to Ukraine, glory to heroes.